The Rebalance program is over. It's no more. Rebalance program no more. So this post, it literally came out like 15 minutes ago at the time of recording this, and I'm very surprised, but also not. And it is funny that they make this decision just before Dark Phoenix was supposed to get her Rebalance announcement. Very suspicious, no? Um, so I haven't read this post, but yeah, it's this was a long time coming, in my opinion. I have never been a big fan of a Rebalance program, mainly due to the fact that there's always a chance that new champions that come to a game will get a nerf, and when there's champions that have been buffed, most of them haven't been very good buffs. Like the only two buffs I can really think of that come to my mind straight away that have been good because of this Rebalance program are Shuri and Atuma. I can't really think of anyone else. Let me know in the comments if you can think of anyone who actually somewhat became prevalent because of the Rebalance program. Because like Falcon Joaquin Torres, yeah, he's still getting tuned up. He's crap. Patriot was really really bad, and he's better than what he was, but no one uses him because the only thing he was made for was for Photon. But that's a different topic entirely. But we'll start off with this. So, following our previous balance update with the announcement of the changes to Spider-Woman, the team has taken time to meaningfully review your feedback and has since had many discussions regarding where the Rebalance program currently lives and how best to approach champion balance moving forward. I've made two videos on the Spider-Woman situation, so go watch them if you have time, of course. They're on the channel, but that Spider-Woman change received a lot of backlash. A lot of backlash. And it just really confirmed in my mind, it's like, right, I'm definitely not taking up any other champions until I know they're not getting touched. Because of stuff like this, that Spider-Woman situation, I've been sat debating whether I rank up Carolina and Nico and a couple other champions like High Evo. Um, if I ever got Yelena, I'll debate taking her up, but those aren't decisions I'm thinking about anymore. So after careful consideration, we have made the decision to bring the current Rebalance program to a close. So current, are they going to try and rework it? Because the problems that I have with a balance program is that when a character should be tuned down, they weren't. Prime example being Serpent. And I think it is why everyone was so curious about how are they going to handle Dark Phoenix, because you had to pay to get her. And I can they were Kabam with Dark Phoenix. They were damned if they did, and if they did nerf her, and they were damned if they didn't. There was no winning in that situation with Dark Phoenix whatsoever, because if they did nerf her, you'd have people who paid for her to get an advantage getting really, really upset. And if they didn't nerf her, you'd have all the people who don't have her, such as myself, complaining that she's annoying. Now, I've only fought Dark Phoenix a handful of times, and all those times are enough for me. She is fucking annoying because it's when you don't have the right counter, which is again a different topic entirely. And the Serpent situation, I don't understand how they think he was perfectly balanced for the game when he's not as annoying as Dark Phoenix, but he's up there. Like him, Dark Phoenix, Yelena. I'm sure people struggle with Arnim Zola as well. They're just, if you don't have a specific counter for them, they're not hard. They are not easy champions to fight. They are so annoying. When the Rebalance program first launched, Moral Contest Champions were in a very different place than it is today. didn't like this Rebalance start. I swear it came like just after Hercules came out, and he is the most broken champion in the game to come out, like in a good way. Like he is stupid dupid for the game. And the program no longer aligns with our current needs. I I'm just surprised it took him this long to realize that, because there's been so many instances as well of champions that should have gotten something but they didn't. Like Leader, yes he was good like two or three like battleground season ago for like 2 weeks. Still doesn't make him good anywhere for other parts of the game. I'm sure he is. Like when there's a bunch of regen. Um, trying to think of other champions that should have gotten something that, he's a really good example. I'm trying to think now. Anyway, Patriot's a problem. Well, Patriot as well, but his buff was just not it. Yeah. So you will still see the upcoming batch update with Falcon, Walking Torres, Toad, Spider-Woman, Deathless Vision. So they're still all coming, but there will be no additional changes through the Rebalance program, nor any ongoing monthly updates. Fine. So if they're gonna they got to do this stuff immediately, because like if a champion has a really broken bug, or they're a little bit too overtuned. Because again, another problem with the Rebalance program I have is that it takes too long. Patriot, there was a wait of a year and a month or two. It was over a year before we got the buff for Patriot after he'd been released, and he's still not viable. Again, if the only champion he's good for is Photon, but there are better champions I'd rather take for fighting Photon than Patriot, because they take more fights. So I'd rather have someone who could take a load more fights than a character who was designed specifically just for one fight. It is the same thing with Gentle. He offensively, yes, he can do others, but he's primarily designed to counter Bullseye. Even though we had Negasonic, Teenage Warhead, and Dazzler to a degree. And anyway, I lost my train of thought. Where was I? As always, we reserve the right to adjust champions if they're critically impacting game health. Kind of should be doing from the beginning. Really should be. The other train of thought. Going back to the balance program taking too long. Falcon Walking Torres be 11 months from his release when he gets that buff. That takes too long. That, in my opinion, that's too long. That's far too long. That said, our balance philosophy will return to its pre-program routes, thoughtful and targeted interventions, and bug fixes when truly necessary. To clarify, this does not mean champions won't be buffed moving forward. We love tuning and reworking champions to give them strong places in the meta, and we have many of those on the horizon. This only pertains to the current 6-month review period. Again, 6 months too long. Should be 4. Minimum 4 months, or at least maybe 3. 3 or 4 months, I'd say. Looking ahead, we'll be exploring several different systems to maintain a healthy meta and game experience to find something that best suits the community. I've got an idea. Content creators that own the CCP, and just they've got a Discord server. Let them have their feedback on champions. I know they probably do that, but it would maybe just a dedicated server to it. That'd be something, or just. I know Kabam say they do listen to. I'm sure they do listen to their community, but it just feels like sometimes they don't. So, but I'm sure there are probably other ideas as well that I'm probably missing out on. We want to ensure that players feel that their time and investments are fully respected. Yes, because there's so many times I have waited on champions on their rebalancing, and then I will take him up. I waited for Serpent because I was sure he was going to get nerfed, but they didn't. So as soon as I saw the balance update for Serpent, I thought, fuck, I'm taking it up. They're not going to change him. Straight up. It is why I've waited to take Carolina up. It's why I've waited to take Nico up. And when Lizard finally comes to the game, I was going to wait for Lizard. Lizard changes, and I don't like doing that because then I put my stuff into other champions that aren't getting touched, or because they've been in the game for a long time, or we've had their rebalancing updates. And then when it comes to it, I was like, no point in me taking them over anymore because I've taken up all these other champions. We plan to share more details in the coming months, and we'll be communicating any new approach well in advance before anything impacts future champions. Thank you for your passion and dedication to the contest. Now, I do think it is a bit shitty of them to shut this down before, well, the month that Dark Phoenix, Yelena were going to get their balance announcements. I think that's kind of scummy. Because these champions, more so on the Dark Phoenix side, because she was the champ for Heart of Fire, the main draw for Heart of Fire, where you had to pay for her, whether that be units or actual money, however you did it. I think it is really, really scummy of them, because these are two champions alongside Serpent that have been constantly complained about that they are not healthy for the game. And I agree, because they require specific counters, and that's not fun. Jack of all trade champions, personally, are a lot better, because they can do stuff pretty well. Sometimes there is a champion that I really, really like, that is just like, I'm set on doing this thing and this thing alone. I really, really, just because I think they're cool, but they just don't work for anywhere else. And yeah, it's just, I just find it really bad. It's not was it bad as how Spider-Woman was handled? Maybe, but yeah, 2025 for Kabam. It's been really, really rough, dude. It's been so rough. This whole year, it's been painful for some of the L's that Kabam have taken. But I'm hoping that this is the turning point. I really, really do, because now that this is gone for the foreseeable future until they work something else out, rank up all the new champions to your heart's content, guys. You don't know how long it's going to last. So I need to get all the catalysts to rank up my Carolina, my Nico. Hopefully Lizard's really good, so I can get him as well, because I'm probably going to be spending some units to get him now. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, overall, I'm glad this rebalancing program's finally gone. I am. It's taken them long enough. It's really, really shit that they decided to do this the month that Yelena and Dark Phoenix are supposed to get their rebalance updates. But hopefully this is a step forward in the right direction. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you like it, feel free to like it. Dislike it if you disliked it. And if you like this video, check out some of the other content on my channel. And I shall see you all in the next one. Goodbye.